guy across in the other colored jersey under center, he's having a career day, and you're matching him throw for throw. You're dropping dimes. How proud of you of your performance?
I mean, it's just sticking to the process, sticking to what we work on all the time in practice, and going through the reps and going through my reads the right way. Like I said earlier, the amount of athletes that we have and the offensive line that we had today, it makes my job easy. So all the credit goes to them and the coaches for putting us in the right play and allowing us to, make plays. So. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to win the football game. It doesn't matter if you got to start from the 1, the 2, or you get the ball at the 30, So you just stick to the process. You go play by play, do the right things, and, just move the chains, and put the ball in the end zone. So.
Garrett, what will you remember about that last drive? Any specific play that stood out to you?
No. I just I'm really proud of us, as an offense. That doesn't just speak to me. That speaks to our entire group. I mean, you can't do it by yourself. And to go 98 yards with the game on the line, that means a lot to me. To be the leader of the offense, that matters more than about myself. So.
Waiting as long as you had for a start to finish it like this.
Yeah.
What kind of emotions is this like right now?
Yeah, God is good. That's how I feel. I'm extremely blessed, and I'm extremely thankful. And it was a wild ride, but I was ready, and I'm very thankful.
Garrett, Kyron, Mason Taylor, Chris Hilton, all these guys that you're going to be working with this offseason all had big moments, big impacts in this game. Just what was it like, I guess, getting to share the field with them in a game-like setting that you guys can kind of fuel going into the offseason?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think it's huge for us going into the off season. I thought we were very well synchronized. I thought we looked good. I thought we had great chemistry. How many yards did Mason Taylor had? He had to have at least 50 okay. So him and Kyron had a great game. BT, Chris, he made a couple plays too. Aaron Anderson, everybody was making plays, and like I said, that makes my job easy. So.
Chris Hilton's has ups and downs. He threw a touchdown. He threw a 43-yarder on the final drive. Just the way he played today, he came through.
Yeah, he did an amazing job. I'm super proud of Chris. Like I said, it's big for us going into the offseason, having that to build off of, to get better off of. So.
The run game kind of kept you in the game, and then the chunk plays late. What did you think about the balance, the job Joe did, and how comfortable are you
Yeah.
that this is what it's going to be, you can do it?
Yeah, no, I think Coach Sloan did an amazing job. We've been working on this for 2 weeks, and I think he put a great plan together. I think him and Coach Hank put a great plan together, and I think he did an amazing job calling the plays and getting us in the groove and giving us opportunities to make plays and get in rhythms. So.
Garrett, you kind of had a moment with Jaden Daniels on the sideline. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah.
Maybe some things that you learned from Daniels as he was the signal caller and you're going to be the eventual
Yeah. No, I appreciate our relationship a lot. It was kind of a moment of, it was like roles reversed for once. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to giving him a high five after, he just made a Heisman statement or something like that, So it was cool. I appreciate him a lot, and, I'm grateful for the time we had together.
What's the important piece of this for your confidence?
I wouldn't say it goes into my confidence. I would say I take pride in always being confident and always being ready. But I think it's huge for our offense, to have the type of game, like the way we performed today. Sorry, I'm stumbling, but the way we performed today, it's huge going into off season. 35 points, and it took us a minute, but we got rolling. And I think that's going to be a great opportunity for us to build and continue to work throughout the off season and into Las Vegas.
What was the key to kind of getting rolling, as you say,
Yeah.
during those first 4 drives?
Yeah, I think it's it was interesting because you have different guys in there. It's a different group, and me and Jaden's skill sets are very different. And so we were trying to gel, we were trying to mesh, we were trying to get it right. And I think once it clicked, and we were rolling. So.
What did you see on that? You realigned some receivers on that goal line. Game winner. What did you see?
I won't go too into detail to give away kind of our plan, but I just felt like I needed to make a decision and change the protection and give BT a chance to win the ball game. So.
How did the Harold Perkins handoff?
No, we've been working that for a week or so. I wish we would have called the dang play action off it, but no, I'm happy for Perk. That was awesome. That was really cool. Perk Heisman 2025 or 2024. I guess we're starting that. I think that's the trend we were starting today. So.
Couple more for
Yes,
Garrett.
what kind of advice did your father, Doug, give you prior to this game?
Yeah, he told me just to go play, just to stick to my process and stick to what I've been working on. You know, I've been blessed with opportunities to play in big games. You know, I got to play against Georgia last year and Alabama this year. So, you know, it wasn't like I hadn't played. You know, I haven't started a game, but, you know, I felt like I knew what the moment was going to be like, and I was prepared. And, you know, my coaches and Coach Sloan did an amazing job at that, making sure I was ready, making sure I was prepared, Coach Dino and all those guys. So, you know, I'm super blessed. I'm super grateful. And, you know, God is good.
You heard teammate talk about the foundational piece of this. I guess, how does it feel from the player perspective?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
You heard Brian talk about the foundation
Mhm.
part of like year two, I guess. What does it feel like from a player perspective? Do you feel like next year's your year to kind of turn this?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. You know, when your new coach comes to a program, you know, I think most people will say that third year is a special year. And, you know, I'm really proud of the strides that our program has made, you know, and it's there. You see more buy-in, you know. I think I said earlier in the week, you know, when you have a bowl game nowadays and you got everybody on the roster playing in the game, you know, I think that's special, and outside of two guys. But, you know, I think that's special. It shows the buy-in that we've created, and, you know, this win, you know, it speaks volumes to who we want to be. And, you know, I'm excited to get to work and for us to progress into the offseason.
We spoke to Malik after the game, talked about how proud he was of you, and obviously y'all came in together to be able to help him get the record.
Yeah.
I mean, just what was that like for you to see him?
Yeah, it meant the world to me. You know, that's my brother. You know, I love him to death. And, you know, when Malik first came in, you know, he was kind of overlooked, and people didn't really expect that of him. And, you know, we all knew it. We all knew he was special. And, you know, I'm so proud of him. You know, he worked his tail off, and he showed everybody. So,
Thank you, Ness.
yep, appreciate y'all. Thank you.